Live from the Tech Live studios in California, it's a platform brawl. Which platform should you go with? iOS, Android, or Windows? Let's let them duke it out on today's Mobile Minute. Oh, wow, man, that bumper just comes in here, leaves a whole mess behind it. My desk is a mess, my hair is a mess. My mother's going to kill me. Okay, so, here's the age-old question. Which platform for mobile device should I use? Apple's iOS, Google's Android, or that evil red-headed stepchild, Windows Phone? We're going to attempt to answer that, but before we answer that, that truly depends on either you, if you're the end user, or knowing the end user. And I'm going to do this in segments, and hopefully it's not going to run too long. First, let's start with the iPhone. If accessibility is your thing, or you know that the end user is going to need accessibility technologies, Apple's iOS is the platform of choice. The built-in technologies work great right out of the box for persons with vision, hearing, motor, and even cognitive issues. And if there's not an app, or if there's not a tool built in for it, guess what? There is, my dear friends, third-party apps. Apple's iOS is the king, queen, and duke of accessibility. You can't go wrong because all the accessibility developers flock to Apple. Now, another thing is ease of use. I can give this to one of my friends who's never used a smartphone in their life. They still have an old flip phone, and they understand how to use it immediately with little to no training. And then that walled garden type of affair. If you want that peace of mind, knowing that anything you or the end user puts on that device is going to be okay, then boom, get yourself an Apple, because 99.9% of the stuff on the App Store is great. And then if something slips through the cracks, Apple is very quick to pull it. So there we go. That's my iOS rant. Now for the Android rant. The big pro of this is customizability. You don't have to root your phone just to give it a different look. You can load in apps that were not necessarily approved from the Google Play Store. And Android, for the most part, won't blink at it. Now, the cons is that it's not updated very frequently, whereas iOS is updated every year. And when updates do come out, Google pushes them to the manufacturers. And there are a ton of manufacturers. HTC, LG, Samsung, etc. And they will essentially do their thing, and they'll add in their bloatware, and so will the carrier, and then they push it to the carrier, and then the carrier determines. And most of the time, they leave older devices in the dust. If you're on a Samsung Galaxy 3, you're going to be stuck with KitKat unless you root the device to upgrade. So, Android has a very interesting way of dealing with things. And then, on top of that, it's inconsistent. Yes, there are some common core frameworks, but each manufacturer does their own spin of Android their own way, and it's inconsistent in user operation for the most part. To the uninitiated, it's going to be a nightmare changing devices. Now, I'm going to touch on Windows Mobile, and I just have one point on this, and that is stay away. Windows Mobile is the evil red-headed stepchild of the mobile world. If you're seen with one of these on a high school campus or on an enterprise campus, you're going to have their ESD team surrounding you. You will be escorted off the campus as if you're a deranged lunatic. And now, a word about apps. Killer apps such as Instagram and the like will come to the platforms in this order: iOS, Google, Windows. And therefore, if you want the killer apps before everybody else, iOS is your platform of choice. I personally have both iOS and Android in my life, and I don't care. I just use each for a different purpose. And then finally, my thing is, if you're already entrenched in one of these systems, such as your job has you use Android or Mac or use an iPad, then you are going to want to go with the platform that is your primary. So if your job has you using Android-based systems, such as Google Calendar, which I know is cross-platform anyway, and the like, or has special apps that they only have running on Android, then get your Android. If you already use Mac at home, at work, at school, get an iPhone. And it really depends on which system you're more entrenched in. If you're not entrenched in any system, then by all intents and purposes, go with what I told you earlier. That's my rant on the three major players in the mobile platform world. And don't worry, you Active Directory heads, I am still working on the rest of the Active Directory stuff, and I'll be uploading more of that soon. Check back here in the next 72 hours, and I should have a link to the presentation that has all the information so you can follow along in the show notes down below. Don't forget to give a like and a subscribe, and we will see you later. Don't text and drive. Hey, it's me, Carly from Tech Live. If you really love what we're doing and want to help us out, go to the link in the description below, which will bring up the Feature Points page. Feature Points is a free iOS and Android app that enables you to earn points and turn those points into things such as Amazon gift cards, iTunes gift cards, or even PayPal Cash by simply downloading apps and trying them for 2 minutes. It's really easy and it's free. And by clicking on the link in the description, you get your first 50 points, and on top of that, you're helping us continue the show. So click on the link in the description and start earning points today. So that way, that killer app that you want that costs $2 isn't that far off. All right, I'm Carly, and I'll see you in the next one.